Hi, my name is Danny Edwards, and I'm the Fire Chief for the Baker Fire Department. Let me first start by saying what an honor and a privilege it is to be with you today as guests on this show, and to publicly say to the citizens of Baker what an honor and a privilege it is to serve as your Fire Chief. I began my career in the fire service with the Baton Rouge Fire Department in January 16, 1972, shortly after graduating from high school. Even before I went to work for the fire department, I always knew that I wanted to be a fireman, especially since my two oldest brothers and my first cousin were firemen with the Baton Rouge Fire Department. And it certainly didn't hurt anything by living next door to the fire chief of the Baton Rouge Fire Department at that time, Chief Edgar Lejeune. I began my rookie stint by riding and hanging on the back of fire trucks, making the calls and fighting fires, happy and content. In 1987, I had an opportunity to make a promotion to an administrative position as Chief of Planning and Research. After much thought and prayer about accepting such an important office, I accepted the position and worked as the Planning and Research Officer for 10 years. Near the end of my 30-year career with the Fire Department, I accepted the position as Administrative Assistant to the Fire Chief, of which I accepted graciously. I enjoyed working and learning to be an effective administrator until I retired in 2002. After my retirement, I still yearned and missed being involved in some sort of way with the fire service. All this changed in 2004 when newly elected Mayor Harold Rito asked me to be his fire chief for the city of Baker. Without hesitation, I accepted responsibility, and from the very first day I was hired, I hit the ground running and have refused to look back. I put together a good team of administrators and firefighters and began to set goals and objectives for the future of the Baker Fire Department. We started and began a rebuilding process. The Baker Fire Department at that time was a Class 3 fire-rated department, and I'll explain the rating. If on a scale of 1 through 10, and 10 being the highest score, we were a number 3. Lower scores means better insurance rates, with a number 1 being the best. So when I took over, one of Mayor Rito's commitments to the citizens of Baker, was getting a Class 2 rating. So we started the work needed to ensure us of a better rating. It was my top priority to get us there. It was at this time the Baker Fire Department housed a fire truck at the Levy Lane Fire Station, which was an EMS-based station. It did not look at the time to man it, so I decided to put the numbers together to see if staffing that station would get us where we needed to be. And it was decided that staffing a crew of firefighters 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at that station would greatly increase our total numbers and be of greater service to the citizens by response times being quicker to the southeastern part of the city. So we went to the mayor with this proposal, and he agreed to the staffing changes that needed to be made. So we changed our organizational chart and increased our manpower and total units, thus giving the city more and better protection. And for your information, after much hard work and the mayor and council's commitments and support, the city of Baker was awarded a Class 2 rating in May of 2009. Another one of many problems I faced when I first took office, and was a big concern to me and my firefighters, was apparent mold and asbestos in the old fire station on Groom Road. After having the fire station tested, it was determined the mold and asbestos was too much and too large to take corrective or mitigative action, and a danger to the health and well-being of the firemen that lived and worked in that building. So Mayor Rito and I decided to move my firefighters and the entire staff into a temporary location and seek funding for a new facility. We began this process by lobbying our local and state elected officials for any type of assistance, funding, or grants to help us build a new fire station. But before we could begin any type of forward progress in acquiring any kind of funding for a new facility, we were impacted by Hurricanes Katrina and Hurricane Rita. These hurricanes impacted the entire state, and we all suffered through some rough times. The city of Baker opened its hearts to those folks from New Orleans who evacuated the city. We sheltered them in the city auditorium, and we did this until a 578 trailer site known as Renaissance Village was opened on Groom Road. It was basically a mini city within the city limits of Baker. These storms put a strain on state funds and therefore postponed any and all of our hopes from funds coming from the state anytime soon. This extra temporary citizenry also increased our fire department call volume tremendously, but we made it by the grace of God, good leadership, and great determination by my firefighters. In 2007 and 2008, we began our lobbying process again for a new fire station, and thank God, after relentless trials and tribulations, we were finally approved for the state for our funding for the proposed project. Construction began in 2008, and we moved into the new station on Groom Road on November 2009, and thank God once again. This fire station is a state-of-the-art multifunctional facility housing the Baker Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness. This facility has a full-scale backup communications center for fire, police, and public works, its own standalone generator for use during emergencies. We last used this facility during our last Hurricane Isaac. As Mayor Rito always says, we're a poor city, and with declining revenues and the possibility of budget cuts, we have made a decision not to stand still. We will continue to seek funding from other sources, grants, donations, etc. Whatever it takes to continue to my commitment to this city with top-of-the-line fire service vehicles, we will touch that on this in a later segment. I have always been a progressive fire chief, wanting the best for my department and for my men and my city. I want my firemen to always look good, have the best of the best in training, tools, and equipment, and I have accomplished that goal and will continue to prove in every way I can. I know that the citizens of Baker are our customers and friends and a family, and our firemen are mandated to honor that commitment and are expected to treat them as such. One of my top priorities is fire prevention and fire safety and public education. I am very high on public education, public relations, and by teaching fire safety not only to the children but also to the elderly. We have accomplished that, and our staff has done an excellent job in getting out to all our schools, daycares, and many other events where we can share this information about fire safety, and we'll also discuss that on a later segment. So today, sit back, call a friend, and we will be right back, folks. That better?
Business in these competitive times can be tough. You need to use everything possible to stand out in the crowd. Your vehicle is an asset most companies overlook when advertising. Now you can promote just like major companies by wrapping your vehicle with eye-catching graphics. Frogskin Graphics wraps boats, cars, trucks, and buildings. No job too large or small. Full-color banners, window graphics, and signs designed, printed, and installed by professionals. 683-95...
Welcome back, folks, to the second part of our show here. I have a special guest with me at this time. It's Howard Ward, my public relations officer, who does a fine job. Howard, tell us a little bit about your plans and what you got going for the fire department.
Hey, thanks, Danny, for having me here.
to
Fire
see
Chief Danny Edwards. Thank you, Chief. Well, you know, you hired me a few years ago in 2009 to come aboard. You had one of your priorities was pub ed and fire safety, and you really wanted to get out there to the citizens of Baker and talk to them about it, and you hired me to come on. And I had just retired from the Baton Rouge Fire Department like yourself, and after 32 years I stayed retired 7 months. So you didn't let me stay retired long enough to really enjoy it. You needed me in your department, so I'm happy to be here, and I thank God for it. I'm happy to report to you, Chief, that you know, since I've been taking this position, I've been really working hard with getting out and doing public relations. And you know, we just came through October with Fire Prevention Month. You know, October is our Fire Prevention Month nationwide, and as all fire departments do, they follow a national trend and a national theme every year to get out and promote fire safety. Right. And one of the things that we do is, and I'm sure that all of our audiences have done, is that we go out with our fire trailer and our smoke trailer, which is the same thing, our safety trailer. And we go out and we bring them to the schools, and the kids, we bring the kids through the fire safety trailer and teach them about crawling low and getting out of a house that's on fire.
And that's very important.
Very important.
Yeah, let me say too, Howard, that before you get too far, you have really filled the void that we've had in this area. And we've gone out and we've touched many schools, many kids, and when you touch children like that, they don't forget it. They go home immediately that afternoon, and they teach what they've learned to their parents, and that's great and important.
That's right. You know, one of the things we learn early in public relations and fire safety, you teach a kid, you teach the adults, because they go home, just like you said, and they're going to tell their parents. We did probably 1,000 kids this year, Chief, in the city of Baker. We did all our elementary schools. We hit a lot of daycares. Right. We did a bunch of events where we brought our safety trailer out, and we continue to do that even after October. If the public wants to call the fire department, if you have a group of kids or you have a nursery, call the fire department. We'll talk to me or our secretary, and have us schedule out for a fire safety trailer to come out and do a little fire safety promotion.
Exactly. And public relations and public education is just a leg off of fire prevention. And our Fire Prevention Bureau does a good job also of safety inspections. And by us putting together a good team in public relations, fire prevention, and public education, our statistics show where we have cut down on a number of fires. We've cut down on a number of injuries. And since 2004, I'm happy to say that we've had, I think, only one fire death in the city of Baker, which nationally that's setting high standards. Right. But Howard, tell us a little bit more about what you got planned for.
Well, you know, Chief, we're right here, right close to Christmas, and we do a lot with the community. Not only do we serve as their rescuers and their firefighters, but we also serve the citizens of Baker and the communities as helpers. Right, we like to consider ourselves Santa's helpers. And one of the things that you did before I got here, and I've kind of taken the ball and run with it, it's an event we call Rides for Toys. And that's where we go out to our local Walmart and we ask the customers going in the store if they're willing to buy a small toy for a ride on our fire truck. And we sponsor that with the police department. And the police department has their Dare car, which all the little kids like to ride a Dare car. So we'll do that on December 12th, 13th, and 14th in just a few weeks. And then after that, Chief, we're going to do our Santa Rides the City. And that's where we put Santa. We actually, we really got Santa this year from the North Pole. And we put him on our fire truck, and we put him out there in the city, and we ride him around for about 4 nights a week. And he says hello and ho, ho, ho to our kids, and they love it, and they come out. So we're going to do that December 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st of December. So we want to invite people to be on the watch and listen for our fire trucks coming down the road with Santa.
And we also challenge our council people when we're in their district to come out and ride with us and buy some candy and help us throw to the children. They look forward to Santa coming along. Yeah. And back to the Rides for Toys at Walmart. That's a big event. That's an idea I had when I first took over, and it's really, really important because once we collect those toys, we pick a church or a charity that can come and we give the toys to them, and they distribute the toys to needy kids. And I think we've helped like 40 families last year. But anything else you want to add, Howard?
No, I think we're good, Chief. In fact, maybe in the next segment, if we can, we'll talk about a little bit of cold weather and fire safety during these cold weather months coming up, and maybe some smoke detector safety.
Yeah, it's always good to talk about that. You know, fire safety in the month of November and December during the holidays is always important. We don't want any fires. Our firemen would just love to stay in a warm station and not have to make calls. But
one thing we like to say is, if people ask if you've been busy, no, we ain't busy. That means that we're doing our job. People are preventing fires. If we're making a lot of fires, we have problems.
That's correct.
So
that's correct. But Howard, you do a fine job. I'm proud of the work you do, and I look forward to many years of your expertise in that field.
Well, I appreciate being here with you, Chief, and as long as you'll keep me around.
You got it, buddy. I don't know what I'd do without you. So thank you, Howard. Thank you, folks. Stay with us. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in just a second.
Baton Rouge is a special place to live, and we have specific needs that need to be shared. WLFT wants to give you a chance to host your own TV show. Maybe you sell homes or motorcycles, or maybe you're a mechanic with knowledge to share. WLFT can create cool graphics and design a show just for you. Calling all ministers, civic groups, doctors, and lawyers, you can have your own TV show now. TV shows can cost over $50,000 an episode. For a limited time, WLFT is offering local businesses your own TV show for as little as $500 per episode, including production. If you need a show or a commercial, call us now or email us at myownshow@WLFT.com. Send us your idea and you can join me on MeTV.
Welcome back, folks, to the last segment of our show. At this point, we're going to talk about some of our equipment and some of our acquisitions that we've had through grants and other donations. I'm proud to say since 2004, when I took over, we've received probably or were awarded in the neighborhood of $6 million in grants. And our biggest acquisition is our mobile burn trailer. In a moment we'll have that shot on the screen of our mobile burn trailer, but what this is an actual live fire training module that we can set up for our firefighters. We actually can go in, we can do 100 different scenarios in it and actually do live fire training. It's got audio, sound in it that we can actually do any kind of sound. We can do a baby crying, a man or a woman screaming for help. But this is a one-of-a-kind unit. This is the only one in the state of Louisiana, the only one in a 5-state area. We're the only fire department that has a tractor trailer to pull it with. And we actually made it a revenue generator for the city of Baker. You know how we can actually lease it out to other departments for training, and we actually bring a revenue into the city with it. And it's a state-of-the-art machine, and we're going to actually do some more scenes on it on TV on this show with it, and we'll be presenting that to you.
You know, Chief, and you're elaborating on that trailer. It's not only functional and a great tool for our firefighters, it's pretty. You might admire that beautiful paintings that we put on the trailer. We were very fortunate, you were very fortunate at the time, to have Eddie Palubinsky, who some people may remember from LSU basketball. Eddie Palubinsky agreed to come over, and he did all the artwork on our trailer. So we were very blessed in having all that artwork done on that trailer.
And we actually gave him a nickname. We nicknamed him Picasso for the fire department, and Eddie took that name and he's adopted it and he used it in some of his stuff. But we're very proud of that.
Very proud of that trailer.
But as you can see, we've got you know, on the screen before, you've seen the fire trucks, you've seen the news station. We've also acquired a grant for a $30,000 off-road vehicle that we can go if we have a fire in the off-road in the woods or an area, or we have a.
And it's not for deer hunting, not you?
No, not for deer.
We're not going to be able to use that for deer
As you see it on the screen, we can actually fight a fire back in the woods. We can actually do rescue. If somebody back in the woods fell out of a deer stand, or we need to rescue them out of the water or something, we can actually
that
do
little
that.
mobile is going to be very good if we get calls in the dry season where we have grass fires
Right.
off the highway.
Right.
In the past, our firefighters had to jump off the trucks with shovels, brooms, go out there and beat these fires down. Now we
Exactly.
have a unit that we can actually off-road, mud, bad terrain, up terrain. We
Right.
can use this vehicle that you've acquired. And again, one of the many accomplishments you've done in the city is acquire one of these vehicles.
Right.
And I think it's going to be great. We've used it at football games too, in multi-purpose vehicle that we
Right.
can use in a lot of ways.
Well, let's don't forget the main thing is our fire safety trailer, where we can
Yeah.
we take the trailer. It's a mobile trailer that we take around the schools and daycare centers or wherever it's needed. We actually go into the city of Zachary with it, and other departments use it. But this trailer, we teach fire safety. We've got a stove in it. We can teach safety, when you're cooking.
Right. I mean, there's a picture up there right now, Chief. And
Yeah.
That's a class that one of our firefighters, Miss Kathy, went out with one of our classes. That's during October, our Fire Prevention Month. Firefighter Kathy went out and helped teach that class.
Yeah.
And like you said, the smoke trailers, fire safety trailers, not only does generate smoke, but it actually does the bad weather scenario where you got a
Yeah.
tornado or something, it shakes and
It's got the
shimmies.
hurricane package.
Yeah, the hurricane
Yeah.
package. And
We can also do a scenario where it'll actually, the blinds will shake, the thunder and lightning will happen, and it'll shimmy and shake like it's an actual storm. So the kids really like that, and
Right.
they can go home and relate that to their parents
Well,
and stuff.
again,
But-
that's like we talked about
Yeah.
earlier in the other segment. We talked about public education, public safety, that if you start with the kids, it gets to the adults.
Right.
So, well, Chief,
Yeah,
do we
well-
have a moment that we can talk a little bit about maybe to the viewers out there about some some fire safety? You know, we're in the cold weather right now. One of the biggest things, Chief, you and I have seen in a lot of times in cold weather is space heaters. This time of the year, people are using space heaters. And don't get the wrong idea. Space heaters are not built to catch your house on fire. They're built to warm you, and they're built-in safety factors. The thing is, on space heaters, the word space is something you need to make.
Right.
You have to put space in between.
Right.
Anything closer than 3 foot that's
Yeah.
combustible will catch on fire.
Yeah, don't put it close to your blinds or your shades or your curtains or furniture or anything like that. Just like Howard says, keep a 3-foot space around that heater at all times.
Exactly.
And frying turkeys and
Yeah.
stuff, you always got to be cognizant of that hot grease, and especially around kids. You don't want kids to be around it where they can knock the hot grease
Right.
over when you're cooking. But Christmas trees. Tell us a little bit about the Christmas
Well,
tree.
Christmas trees, if you got a live Christmas tree, remember after Christmas Day, after the presents are open, if it's live, they usually start dying. Get them out your house. There's a fire potential. I do want to take this opportunity. We're running out of time, Chief. I want to talk about smoke detectors. We do have a program in the city of Baker for smoke detectors. If you cannot afford one, can't get one, call the fire department. We'll help you get a smoke detector.
Right. That's the main thing. But we want to thank the folks for being with us today. I want to tell you it's an honor and a privilege again to be your fire chief at the city of Baker. My door is always open. We're a phone call away. We always got a pot of coffee going. I want to say God bless to you all. And again, my door is always open. And stop by and see us at any time. Howard,
Yep.
thank you for being with me today.
Thanks for having
And
me,
keep
Chief.
up the good work, son. We appreciate
As long as
you.
you keep me around, I'll do what I can,
We
Chief.
got you. Anything you want to add?
No, I just want to tell people to stay safe out there
Right.
in the city of Baker and keep your family safe and use your good common sense is all you can say.
That's
Good
right.
common sense.
That's good. Well, again, thank you, folks, for being with us. God bless you. Stay safe during the holidays, and anything we can do for you as a fire department, we're your fire department. You are our customer, and thank you so very much. Good.
That's a wrap.